Hey guys, this is Backhand, and
This is lousy.
thanks for joining us. Continue watching. We've been drinking MMA podcast, and this is breaking down UFC 288 main card. This is Cron Gracie versus Jourdain. Gracie's coming back from a 3-year layoff, and I'm going with Cron Gracie. He's plus 150, so $100 to make 150, so it's a good price too.
Yep. I'm going Cron Gracie as well. I am going over 1.5 rounds, and that's going to be my lock of the card for this one. Cron Gracie is a grappler and submission, like probably one of the if you think of submission or grappling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at all, you think of Gracie. At least I do anyway.
It was invented by them, yeah. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was invented by the Gracies. And this guy is just another guy who basically does not care about his striking. He just pushes forward and doesn't even care about wrestling. He'll just get forward, and then when you are too close, he will literally just body lock you, get you against the fence, take you down, and then get your back eventually because he's a Gracie. Yeah. And then he'll choke you out or do whatever he wants on the ground.
This is definitely not going to be a fight at all. This is going to be a grappling, maybe some kicks involved with Jourdain. But I think it's going to be more of a grappling, try to take your back type fight.
Yeah, make no mistake about it. Jourdain is going to be hot in the first 30 seconds. He's going to be leg kicking. He's going to be body punching. He's going to be throwing, combinations with heat. And Gracie, though, does go forward, so he might take a few punches, but Gracie does have a good high guard, and he's got good enough head movement where he's not going to get hit too hard by Jourdain. Might want to get maybe a little KO insurance for Jourdain. Maybe just a little bit. A small bet for Jourdain by KO. It might be like plus 200. If it is something like that, then maybe just get a small bet on that. I'm going to get a medium-sized bet on Gracie because it's 3 years layoff. But listen, Jourdain, he's going to be hot in the beginning, but if Gracie just stands with him just for a little bit, Jourdain has a habit of getting close. And Gracie pushes forward. Jourdain's going to get close, start swinging, and he swings like 3-4 different punches, does not care about the takedown for some reason. He's got a lot of fighter in him, and he just starts throwing, and he's going to be open for Gracie to do that body lock. Arosa, a few fights ago, Julian Arosa did the same thing with Jourdain. Just threw like 1 or 2 punches, and then Jourdain went in animal mode, threw like 3-4 punches back, stayed in the pocket, like right next to Arosa. Arosa body lock, took him down, and then submitted him. I see the same thing happening for Gracie. I don't know what round, but probably not first, because Jourdain is going to be hot in the first. So Gracie by submission, I think is going to happen.
Gracie by submission.
He's won every fight by submission, so
it's if Gracie wins, it's going to be by submission.
Absolutely, guys.
But also, Jourdain's going to come out with a sense of urgency because he's lost his last 2 fights. So that first round is going to be interesting. So the first round, knockout, like a little bit on the side, just to hedge it. It's probably pretty smart, but I think it's going to be Gracie all the way.
Right, definitely. I mean, like I said, open to the body lock takedown. Gracie can just take him down, even if he doesn't submit. Just staying on top. He's got good ground control. Obviously, he's got the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu with him. So, yep, going with Cron Gracie, guys. Appreciate you listening.
Hey guys, this is the We've Been Drinking MMA podcast. I am Lousy, and I'm sitting next to
Backhand over here,
and we are talking about the UFC 288 Cejudo Sterling fight, our card. The first fight we're talking about is the Evloev, Evloev versus Lopez. Lopez just came in on, I want to say, like
today.
Literally today, because Bryce Mitchell had an injury or
something.
Yeah. So I have nothing on Lopez himself besides that he was a Dana White Contender Series guy, and
right.
And Evloev is a
number 10 in the world.
So
yeah,
no brainer. Evloev.
Going with Evloev. We don't even have odds on it right now, but
I don't think you need to even talk about it anymore. I think it's Evloev all the way.
I mean, Evloev. Let's just say he's minus 400 to make 100 even. I'm just gonna throw him on a parlay. If he's expensive, throw him on a parlay. Lopez fought on the Contender Series 3 fights ago, and he lost. He's a guy that will throw, a little bit of heat going forward. His counters are lacking. his defense is lacking. He can walk into punches. Evloev is really grinding with the wrestling, and then can punch on the run, can kick on the run, body kick on the run, just things that other people can't do. That's why he's top 10, and it's a self-explanatory type win. It's just if he's expensive, I'm gonna throw him on a parlay. So that's the best to pick.
Evloev via decision because he does not put people away, but he controls everything on the ground. So Evloev for the win. Thanks, everybody. Welcome back to the We've Been Drinking MMA podcast. I'm Lousy. I'm sitting right next to...
This is Backhand.
And we are going to be talking about the Jan versus Andrade fight. And I am going to go Andrade via this, going the distance. Andrade is a more... She comes forward a lot. So that's going to be a tough match for this tough technical fighter who's a more patient striker, as Jan is. Andrade is she likes to come forward a lot. I like to call her bowling ball.
Oh man, she's like a wrecking ball, right?
Yeah,
little wrecking ball.
She fist of fury. She don't care.
Definitely.
But if Jan is patient enough, she can probably light her up a little bit with the counters. So it's gonna be an interesting fight here.
It's a very interesting fight. I think, Andrade likes to really go forward against Jan. I'm going with Andrade as well. She's only really lost like one fight in the last however many, like a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, she's lost to only champions and people who are going to be fighting for championships or like Blanchfield. So, which Lousy did predict. And so... she comes forward. She throws hooks, really fast hooks, combination hooks. She does really push forward a lot to the point where she does kind of get, hit a little bit, but she's got good enough head movement. And Jan likes to counter with the straight punches. But Jan doesn't throw a high volume really. Well, you know what? 5.4 significant strikes per minute is solid, but 6.84 for Andrade. It's just a little bit more. And Jan is a little bit more calculated, I would say. So I see Andrade going forward. She's got 2.6 takedowns for fight as well. So that's another bit of that wrinkle that could really help. She's minus $200 to make 100. So she's the favorite for a reason. And yeah, her punches and combinations are just a little bit faster than Jan's. Jan is a little bit more patient. Also, the leg kicks of Andrade, she goes forward. She's going to be scoring more. And, Jan, she does have power, but she is not a person who's going to just, wow you with that. Proof is that her last 3 wins, they're all decisions. So, it's one of those things. Andrade by decision was your pick?
Andrade going the distance.
Going the distance. It makes sense because, Jan is looking to counter very strategically in straight punches. So Andrade might, get hit here and there, and so it might be a back-and-forth fight here and there. So going the distance is a great bet, I think. But I want to bet Andrade just why not? Just because, I feel like she's got the game. She's got the faster punches. She's got the faster leg kicks, better head movement. Jan likes to just, she backs up really well, so it's hard to hit her as much. But Andrade with the combination, she's going to connect. She can go to the body, too. Really good boxing. So, I'm going with Andrade. Andrade by decision makes sense, so.
Jan is a very technical fighter, so she can probably catch Andrade with a counter, but I don't think she has the power enough to not get her out of there. So
makes sense.
So, but Andrade is just the volume and the power is just can control this fight. So Andrade going the distance makes sense for me.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Subscribe,
comment. We like that stuff. Thanks.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. UFC 288 main card breakdown. This is the co-main event here. This is Bilal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns at 170 pounds. For me, the pick is going to be Gilbert Burns.
For me, it's going to be Gilbert Burns via decision. Gilbert Burns is dangerous with his striking, and it seems with me the way he's been fighting the last couple of fights, he wants another chance for the belt.
100%.
He's going to bring the pain, if you will. He's a more active fighter as far as strikes, as far as takedowns, as far as putting after he gets people on the ground. He's more active trying to get people out that way as well. So Bilal is a great fighter. In fact, he has probably one of the best nicknames of any fighter I've ever heard.
What is it?
It's Remember the Name. Bilal, Remember the Name Muhammad. So, Muhammad is a grappler who puts people against the fence.
Is he trying to wait? Is he trying to do remember the name for his last name because that was the Prophet, or just him?
It has to be just him, but just like Muhammad is.
I don't think
probably one of the most.
They remember that.
I'm gonna have to look this up, but it's probably the most popular first name of all time.
I think so.
Muhammad is probably the most used first name of all time.
Maybe of all time.
My guess.
I don't think we're gonna have a problem remembering. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Remember the name.
It's like one of the only names I actually remember.
Yeah.
But so I'm going with Burns as well. I just think that when he punches with purpose. Punches are fast, and he's more selective with it than Muhammad. Muhammad just seems like he throws a lot of fake punches and lefts just coming in. He gets hit on the nose a little bit in his last fight versus Sean Brady, who's not ranked, was Sean Brady ranked? I don't know. He might have been. He didn't look ranked.
Sean Brady's ranked, but it's not high.
Okay. He shouldn't be ranked. Is what I'm saying. So it looked like he comes in, throws a lot of punches that are kind of just, gauging punches. He's probing punches.
Volume striking,
setting up takedowns, setting up bigger punches. But it's chances for him to get hit. His nose was bloody in the first round versus a guy, Sean Brady, who, is an okay fighter, but not close to top 10 level.
Very
in my opinion.
Technical striker.
Brady's good, but he's a good, solid athlete, but it's just nothing. No, he shouldn't be making your nose bleed.
Yeah.
If you're a guy who's going to fight for the title, you should not be getting your nose bled by a guy who's like, number 15 or whatever, right? Just a fact, right? Burns has fought 3 times this is his 3rd fight in the last 5 months. He's beaten everybody. He beat Neil Magny, and then he beat Masvidal, and then he had fight of the year, in my opinion, versus Khamzat Chimaev. And
amazing fight.
And listen, Chimaev's a 185er in reality because he keeps missing weight at 170. And Burns, had a great fight with him. I mean, there was no loser in the fight. In reality, Chimaev won, but it was a phenomenal fight. Everyone, I think, enjoyed it. I've watched it now 3 times, and I enjoyed every time.
Even from the back, he was striking very, very, very hard.
I mean, he beat Stephen Thompson. I mean, Burns has beat so many good fighters. Magny, Masvidal in his last fight. And what he does is he likes to go forward, but he's selective with his punches. But when he starts to get going, he starts getting the leg kicks going. He starts, getting the power left going. He starts getting the jab going a little bit. Muhammad, like we said, he does put the pressure on in round 2 and as he gets going, but like a lot of probing punches, a lot of punches that are unnecessary.
Very technical,
and just throws it out there. He's setting up takedowns. This is the thing about the takedowns. We don't talk about wrestling. So Burns is going to take the punching. Muhammad's countering has gotten a lot better, so that's going to be a little bit closer. Leg kicks, again, close, but Burns is maybe a little bit faster again there. Muhammad, again, the head movement is non-existent, so he's getting hit a little too much, though.
Against the fence grappling, I'm going to give it to Muhammad.
Yeah.
When you are on the ground, on top or on bottom, I'm giving it to Burns.
Yeah.
Because he's more active. He wants it more.
So it's going to come down to wrestling, obviously, with Muhammad. He's more of a wrestler. And in my opinion, Muhammad is a really good offensive wrestler as far as, putting the pressure, punching to takedowns, and getting you against the fence, like Lazzy said, and taking you down. His top control is pretty good, but he doesn't really do heavy ground and pound damage, so it's not really anything concern for Burns. Also, the thing is this, man. Burns got up versus Khamzat Chimaev, who's a much more explosive, much more dominant top control wrestler than Muhammad will ever be. And Burns was actually handled it well. He got up pretty easily and stuffed the takedowns after that in the first round, and he was fine. And that's why it turned into a stand-up war versus Khamzat Chimaev, who's going to fight for the belt at 185, I'm sure, soon. And so, my point is that Burns will get up off the ground. Now, Muhammad had trouble with Damian Maia, who is a jiu-jitsu guy, not a great wrestler, but shoots a lot for takedowns. And Muhammad was getting taken down left and right. Even when he wasn't getting taken down, in the single leg, Damian Maia was holding on to the leg. Muhammad didn't know how to break free and just get the underhook. And then he would get the arm off, and then he didn't get the underhook, and then the arm would come back from Maia, and then Muhammad would be again leg in the air, and just bouncing on one foot for like 2-3 minutes in a round for 3 rounds.
And Damian Maia is definitely not known for his striking at all.
No striking.
So when he's going to try to take you down and you still can't stop it. That
was 4 fights ago. That's not too long ago. So that's the thing. A lot of people think Muhammad, I'm sure, is going to be the better wrestler. I'm actually going to disagree. I think he can take down Burns. Burns will get up. But the problem is when Burns takes Muhammad down or even wants to threaten the takedown, I think Muhammad's going to have actually a harder time stuffing Burns' takedowns, and he's going to get controlled by Burns against the cage a lot if Burns wants to. Again, the striking goes to Burns. The leg kicks, countering from Muhammad's gotten better, so he's going to be able to hit Burns here and there. But like I said, when Burns gets into a firefight, he gets very selective, very smart, and he starts getting athletic with his punches, really winging hooks, but like still controlled. Really, really amazing
Powerful
fight.
stuff.
He deserves a title shot, don't you think? Just looking at what he's been doing the last
If
year or
this
two.
is a dominant fight that
Yes.
Burns wins by decision or a knockout, or I think he
give him a
deserves
title
it.
shot, right?
Yeah.
Been amazing.
Yeah.
Been amazing guy, man. Gilbert Burns by decision is a phenomenal pick because, again, Muhammad can get controlled. Burns probably not going to submit a guy like Muhammad, but, because Muhammad is a very strong individual. KO is, again, very hard because even though Muhammad does get bloody on the nose, Muhammad doesn't put his head completely in harm's way to get knocked out. So it's going to be hard for Burns because Burns is calculated. Distance makes a lot of sense, man. I love the bet. Burns by decision.
Burns by decision. Thanks
So
for listening, everybody.
he's minus 130. I like him straight up, but also a little bet about going the distance or Burns by decision as well. Another small bet. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. Burns by decision. Thanks. Welcome to We've Been Drinking MMA podcast. We're going to be talking the main event of the UFC 288, Sterling versus Cejudo. I'm going Henry Cejudo via decision. Henry Cejudo is a 3-year layoff. He has a gym. He also trains with the best fighters in the UFC. He has the hands to compete with anybody in his weight class. His wrestling is obviously top tier. He's obviously a gold medalist. Yeah,
At the age of 18.
Yeah,
apparently, it's amazing.
Very, very young gold medalist.
Right, he's been a champion, a winner his whole life. So I'm going with Cejudo as well. Don't know how. I think decision is smart as well. He's minus 115, so I think I'm just going to bet him straight up. But he's got a 7-inch reach disadvantage.
The reason I am going decision is because Sterling's gas tank. His cardio is probably
Phenomenal.
It's the best in the weight class.
As far as being efficient with his energy, amazing. He knows how to go 5 rounds.
Yeah. So I just wanted to add that to what you were saying there.
Listen, Sterling's got a great fight IQ. He's a champion for a reason. He doesn't waste his energy. If he thinks he's not going to punch you, he knows how to throw fake punches, feints, and just really slow down the punches, but literally make you feel like you're getting walked down and that he could hit you. And then he'll hit you when you cover up. You know what I mean? So he's really smart with setting you up and not wasting his energy to do it with his fake punches. He's got a 7-inch reach advantage. He's 33 years of age. Cejudo's 36 with a 3-year layoff. Cejudo is 3.9 significant strikes per minute. Sterling is 4.7. Sterling's got a lot of advantages here. Takedowns is both of them got 2 per fight. Differences is this. Cejudo's aggression is huge in this fight. I mean, he is a Mexican-American, everyone knows the Mexican style is to go forward, and Cejudo is no different. Cejudo can go in and out, but if he needs to, absolutely turn it on. Proof of that was the Marlon Moraes fight. He was getting leg kicked for the first round, and that was a cool Corey Sandhagen, a fellow Coloradan, great fighter, was having a conversation with Rogan, and they were talking about it. And I was like, oh, man, I was reminded of it. And, some guy made a good video on it, and I was watching, round 1 where Moraes was leg kicking Cejudo a lot, and Cejudo was really getting damaged up on the legs. Round 2, Cejudo said, okay, I'm going to go forward and take away your leg kicks and just put it on Moraes. And it's just, he's got the will of a champion. This is the reason why he was a gold medalist in wrestling.
The fight IQ.
The fight IQ and the will, man. It's amazing how he knocked out Dominic Cruz with that fight IQ. Dominic Cruz is a guy who before that had never been knocked out. I think he'd been finished by choke, by Uriah Faber a long time ago. And then, after that, he became champion and then reigned for 8 fights or something like that. So long-time champion at 135. And he found the knockout, against a guy who had never been finished or knocked out. Sorry, never been knocked out. And it was a really crazy knockout it was almost like, Dominic Cruz doing his little dipping in and out. And when he dipped in, freaking Cejudo just, it was like a knee. It was like a kick knee thing, and a knee landed. It was amazing.
A jump kick knee.
Oh, man, it was a jump kick knee, I think. That's exactly right. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, And Cejudo just timed it perfect. Just his timing, his IQ, his will to win, the damage he does, the speed of his punches, the way he trains, his mentality. He's coached John Jones since he's been kind of retired for 3 years. He coached John Jones. John Jones had a win over Cyril Gane at heavyweight and got the belt there. Now he's got 2 belts. And Cejudo, told him the back take was it was very likely, and it happened, and it played out perfect. And Jones was prepared. Jones was going to win either way. I'm saying it was easier because Cejudo helped him a little bit. Cejudo's been coaching everybody, man. He coached just other champions. I can't even remember who. Weili Zhang, I think. I think he coached Figueiredo when he got the comeback win versus
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse, yeah. Mighty Mouse has a fight this weekend on Friday. This Friday, we're gonna go there. It's gonna be amazing. And Cejudo has been coaching him as well, and this might be his last fight as a all-time great. It's gonna be phenomenal in a trilogy fight, so can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
That's on
the
Friday.
only question marks with Cejudo is gonna be his gas tank because of a layoff.
Yeah, 3-year
and
layoff.
with Sterling's cardio, because we know what he has right now.
Right.
But with the gas stage questions because of a layoff is the only question marks that I have for Cejudo. Otherwise, I'm going Cejudo via decision.
So strike for strike, I think Cejudo beats him everywhere on the feet. I think his countering is faster. I think his punches going forward are faster. I think more damage as well. Leg kicks faster, more damage as well on that. I think Cejudo knows how to go forward and put more pressure than Sterling. Sterling knows how to use that gas tank really smart and really make it a great 5-round fight and have the illusion like he's going forward, but in reality he's just messing with you and probing you and waiting for reactions. And Cejudo has got the IQ. I think Cejudo's going to figure it out. I think he already has it figured out. Sterling doesn't go for damage. Sterling goes for volume, and he goes for just trying to outpoint you at this point. And then if you cower away, he'll take you down. If you want to just go ahead and cover high, he'll take you down. And if he'll duck under takedown. His timing, Sterling's timing is phenomenal, and he knows how to wait for you to make a mistake, and then he takes advantage.
Yeah.
And sometimes he sets it up, and sometimes he just takes what you give him. Cejudo's a different animal. Cejudo will set you up. Cejudo's looking to damage you, to throw with speed, and to really
make
get
you
in
fight his fight.
Yes, he's looking to go in and out. Then he'll go forward. Then he'll kind of go side to side. He'll change up the patterns. He throws again with speed, heavy punches. He can finish anybody. Ground and pound, he can finish too. Wrestling, obviously, he's gonna out wrestle Sterling. Even if Sterling gets Cejudo down, Cejudo is gonna be fine to get back up. Obviously, gold medalist in wrestling. It's just gonna be all around Cejudo. I think 3-year layoff is gonna make it so that I think distance makes sense. So
yeah.
So,
that's my pick.
Like the prediction, but I think Cejudo all day. It's going to be a really fun fight because it really is. It feels like a 50-50 fight, but like we're going with, like I'm saying, I don't think Sterling really goes for that type of damage, so he's not going to really hurt Cejudo. Cejudo's going to be tagging up Sterling on the legs to the body. I think it's going to be one of those fights where people are going to be shocked to see the small guy bullying the big guy.
Do we need to say this is going to be fight of the night, though?
Man, I think this is probably going to be. Why not? I mean, Sterling, even though Sterling can fight and Sterling knows how to he can throw the heat if he really needs to. I think Muhammad Burns could be a really good fight. But yeah, it's either Muhammad Burns because they both go forward, type of thing. And then
this is going to be an exciting.
But
fight.
Cejudo and Sterling also go forward, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Both those fights, co-main and main, both of them are I think fight of the night candidates.
So Cejudo for the win.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Like, subscribe, comment. We like that.